Let's bring in Peter Levesque. He is president of Ports America, joining us live from Los Angeles in this first on CNBC interview. Peter, thanks so much for your time today for a pulse check on the supply chain crisis. Give us your insights into exactly what's happening at your operations on the ground as it relates to these supply chain issues, because we're hearing anecdotally and in the reports that the ports in Los Angeles and Long Beach are an absolute mess right now. What's the real situation, though?
Well, look, we talk about Black Friday. You could argue the U.S. consumer has been treating every day for the last year and a half like Black Friday. It's been extraordinary consumer demand. And that is one of the reasons why we find ourselves in this supply chain congestion issue that we're in right now. The U.S. supply chain, quite frankly, was not designed or ready to handle a 37% surge in cargo imports from Asia in such a short period of time. We've been working very closely with the White House, with the White House Port Envoy, John Bakari, to try to relieve the congestion at the Port of Los Angeles and Long Beach. But look, we still have 60 ships sitting off the coast of LA. We have another 30 ships sitting even further out to sea, waiting to get in behind them. And this is an issue that is not going to be fixed in the short term. This is something that will have to work itself out probably into second quarter of 2022.
So, Peter, what can Ports America actually do to make sure that we don't have empty shelves and soaring prices this holiday season? That's the great fear permeating across America right now.
Well, look, this is again, it's an unprecedented event in how this occurred. It's not something that is going to be solved by Christmas. Everybody in the supply chain, no matter what mode of transportation they're working in, is doing everything they possibly can to move product as fast as they can to get it to store shelves. But we have vessels waiting still 18 days to get into the port. We have a port congestion issue because of the number of ships that are in. We have a shortage of truck drivers to take the containers out. We have a shortage of chassis or wheels to put the containers on. And then there's an overall shortage of warehouse capacity on the West Coast in order to be able to take the cargo that's inside those containers and put it into fulfillment centers. So again, this is an issue that's not going to go away anytime soon, but everybody across the supply chain is doing as much as they can to move product as fast as they can as part of this White House initiative.
You just hit on some of the points that I was about to ask you in your next question, essentially about how we got to this point, because there are a lot of suggestions out there that there simply just aren't enough containers available at the moment. There aren't enough staff members. People that work in shipping should be deemed essential workers and be allowed to work around the clock. You also spoke about the fact that we've seen a big spike in demand. Is it essentially a perfect storm of events that's gotten us to the situation that we now find ourselves in?
It is absolutely a perfect storm of events, and that's something that we all have to keep in mind, that this is an anomaly. We've never really seen anything like it before. Port workers in the United States were deemed essential, and our port workers in the United States worked straight through COVID to keep America's commerce going strong, and we're very proud of that fact. But again, to give an idea of how big the issue is, we're estimating that U.S. retailers and importers will increase their inventory because of this recent situation about 5 to 10% in order to handle the e-commerce surge and in order to basically provide buffer stock. That 5 to 10% increase in retail inventory holding is about 15 million more containers a year coming into the United States. And that 15 million containers will need another 500 million square feet of warehousing to handle it. So you don't build that overnight. These aren't problems that we're going to be able to resolve overnight.